come in with an open mind and with an expectancy of changing.
Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Shifting My Life podcast. We have a fantastic young man here today that's going to share his story with you. Of course, Shifting My Life podcast is about stories where individuals will come into the room and shift the atmosphere with their stories, and perhaps they may come into your room, your living room, or your dining room, or wherever you are, and shift the atmosphere in your home. And so today we have Mr. Eric Dabney. He's going to be sharing with us about where he was and where he is now, and what happened in his life to shift the atmosphere, to shift his life into him being the person that he is now today. And so, Eric, thank you so much again for coming and being a part of Shifting My Life podcast. Again, my story comes from that my son Chad got killed here in Louisiana in 2007. Unexpected. Chad was a loving young man, but he was in the streets as well. I wasn't blind to that, but didn't expect my child to get killed. You understand? And so I took that pain, maybe about 4 years after that, took that pain and turned it into my power, because every time I do something, it's in his name. Yes, it's in his name. And so it may not matter to the killer, it may not matter to the police, but he's my son, and I'm gonna keep his name alive. Yes, I'm gonna keep his name alive. And so, share with us your story and where you were and what's going on with Eric. Who is Eric Dabney?
Right. How y'all doing? I'm Eric Dabney. On the streets, they know me as E-Love. The name, I guess, growing up.
Okay, you from here, from Baton Rouge?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are born and raised Baton Rouge. Like she say, grew up young, but the moral to the story, how most people have a sad story.
Mm-hmm.
My story not really a sad story, it's living, learning, and of course, God doing the 360 in your life and
right.
You to stay in life.
And the key to it is that you say doing the 360, but the key to it is that he allows you to be here.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that people really understand that,
right.
that, God allows you to be present.
Right.
For a reason and a purpose.
And it's a reason.
Yes, and so what was going on when you were younger?
Yeah, just, like I say, I grew up with my father. That's why I said earlier, most people, be like they didn't grow up with their father.
Didn't have a father.
I was blessed. I grew up with my father and my mother. I have 7 sisters.
Wow.
And 5 brothers.
Wow.
I'm a twin. And guess what? We all have the same mother and father.
Blessing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say, yeah, like for real.
Not a typical household.
Right.
That you would have someone come out of that maybe has been in trouble or get in trouble a lot, because you have a lot of people around you.
Exactly. Right.
You had a mother, father, brothers and sisters to encourage you.
Right. That's why.
And so what brought about the change in you wanting to just do Eric and be Eric?
Right. That's what I was saying. So, I grew up, like I say, my mother worked, my dad was a hard-working man. He provided for us. We wasn't rich, but we had what we needed.
Yes.
And he also taught me how to work. He put it in all my brothers and sisters. But at the same time, my brothers, I'm the baby boy. So they got off into the streets. I'm sitting back, curious, watching everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm watching them. I'm observing them. They're in the streets, getting fast money, doing this, doing that. And, like I said, I'm young, so I'm watching too. So at the same time, before you know it, I'm in the streets getting money, young, like I said, watching them, doing my little thing and whatever you want to call it. My daddy on my butt, he on them too.
Yes.
But at the same time, like I said, my daddy did everything he could in his power to lead us to the straight way.
Right.
We decided to go left,
let me just touch on that. We raise our children a certain way. And I think I was talking with someone the other day, and they said that my child is not going to do that. I said, let me just
Oh,
state this to
man.
you, that we raise our children a certain way, but when they turn 18 and
Right.
grow up and go out into the world,
Right.
basically it really starts about 16.
Exactly.
That they start forming their own identity and
Identity,
how
what
I
they
want to
want.
do things and
Right.
how I want, because like you say, you were sitting there watching and looking at your
My
brothers.
right.
Mhm.
Right. My daddy, like I said, he did his job as a pops, you know, and did the best. I mean, I thank God for him.
Mhm.
You know, but like I say, moving on, you know, I'm getting money, doing this, doing that. You know, lost a lot of my brother friends,
Mhm.
you know, which is older than me.
Okay.
So I experienced death and losing loved ones at the 12, 13 years old.
Wow.
You know,
Okay.
it was lost a lot of my brother friends. I mean, close friends. It's like I'll hang with them for a minute,
Mhm.
and I'll learn something from them, and then within months they was
They
dying.
was gone.
And it's like we talking like late 90s. I
Wow.
mean late 80s, early 90s.
Mhm.
And I lost my first brother at 83.
Okay.
You know, and I was just like in the 4th or 5th grade.
Right.
But the pain out of that, and then we get close to God, what got me here, I know for sure to meet you,
Mhm.
is that, you know, I seen the pain in my mother in 83, and I was just a little kid.
Yes.
You know, so I'm like, man,
Yes.
because she loved us so much, you know, she had 12 kids. In my mind, I'm like, well, my brother in heaven, she still got 11 more kids, but I'm seeing the pain and the.
Talk about that
Man.
with your mom, because you know I don't hear many people talk about that,
Man.
about how we feel.
Ain't no woman like your mom.
And how, you know, when we lose our children, it's like a part of us is
Right.
gone.
Right.
It's not like a part of us is gone. It's a
It's
part
a
of
part.
us is
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
And so, how did your mom do? I mean, you watching and seeing and looking at your mom
Mhm.
grieving, even though she had 11 other children.
That's what I'm saying. It was crazy. You know, I think that's when God really kind of got my attention. 'Cause I was young, but my mama raised us up in church. I was brought up in church, in the choir, everything. Me and all my brothers and sisters, even though we still went left. You know,
Yeah.
she did
Yeah.
her job, and my daddy, to raise us the right way. But, you know, watching her, sometimes I'll be a little kid, I'm playing, and I can see that something bothering her. And then I'll say, Ma, you okay? And she'll snap back and say, yeah, I'm good. But in my
Yes.
mind, I'm knowing that she's grieving about my brother.
Yes.
So I'm so young, you know, on watching, and then at the time, while me watching my brothers now, you know, get money in the streets and do this, they in and out of jail, reform school, LTI. And when I say my mama there every Sunday, you know, we got the family picnic. You know, I'm watching this. You
It's
know,
nothing like a mother's love.
and she every Saturday she there. You know, so I'm watching this, but at the same time, I'm also watching her pain. You know, but she don't know that I'm seeing. And you know what's crazy? Not to speak story, but I'll get back to it. But when I lost my brother in '83, and I watched my mama pain, because my brothers was, like I said, going to LTI, you know, going to jail and stuff like that, and I'm little. I'm seeing the pain in her. I was in the 4th grade, I think. I recall I said, man, if I ever be in jail or something happened to me, you know, if I ever be in jail or something happened to my mama, man, I'd probably go crazy. I'd probably kill myself. You know, I'm a kid. I'm seeing her pain.
Yes.
You know, but I'm young. I'm just saying this because I'm
Yes.
watching her, like she loved us so unconditionally.
Wow.
You know, and it did something to me. And like, not going back to that story, I'll get back to it. You know, so I'm in the streets. I guess I graduated. I'm steady, thinking I'm slick because I'm watching my brother no mistakes, and I'm being clever with it.
Well, thanking you being clever.
Yeah, thinking I'm
Yes.
being clever. And you know what's funny though? When I say God is good, I lay around now, and like I said, I was getting fast money. I graduated, class of '94.
Good.
Because and when I graduated, it was like I won a lottery. My mom and my father was
So
you know,
proud.
because you know people look at you as, like I said, I was raised my mother, so they feel like even though the streets knew what I was doing, my mama, you know, like you said about your son, she had a glimpse of what I was doing, but I thought I was smart and clever, so I felt I owed it to walk across the stage, her and my dad, to let them know that they're not dealing with a fool.
Yes.
Even though, like I said, I thought I was slick.
Right.
Of course, God gonna, you know, get you straight on that.
Yeah, he reveals everything.
Right. So when I graduated, you know, I said, well, I got my money out the way. I got a diploma.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm concentrating on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wow.
You know, just this is the way I was thinking at the time. And when I say, one time I was in school, and the teacher used to ask us, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And for some reason, I used to always say, I want to do real estate, and I used to always say I wanted a nightclub. You know, I was thinking, and something else I said. I had a passion for music.
Okay.
Because I have my brother's sons. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Big Wayne. Shout out to Big Wayne and Be Real. They some big producers in Baton Rouge. They're my little nephews.
Okay.
They do a lot of music for
Good.
everybody. So shout out to them.
Good.
But I have a passion for music, so I used to always say I wanted to do that, you know, in school. And you know, even though I was doing the devil work, I guess God let me see all that I asked for. And soon when He let me see that, you know, my best friend from kindergarten.
Wow.
You know, I thought I was so smooth and all this and that and all that there. When he graduated, he went to the plant. And at the time, like I said, my daddy put work in me, but I was like, I wasn't thinking all things. I'm like, I'm gonna get a job one day.
You wanted that quick and fast money.
Yeah.
To get the things that you said that you wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm smooth and you know, and watching my people, and anyway, I'm steady in the mix. But so happened, I wind up getting the music. I wind up getting a nightclub. You know, I wind up getting a lot of stuff that I said what I wanted to do when I was a kid, but I was getting it the wrong way with the wrong money.
Yes.
So don't you know, soon when, and don't get me wrong, my mom used to tell me all the time, she say, son, you need to stop what you're doing. You know, I know you got a good heart. You know, go to church, because I used to go to church, but not like I was. My daddy, son, you need to stop what you're doing while you think you're ahead. Go to Southern, go take up a degree.
That's
you know,
right.
I wasn't, you know, I always had sense.
That's right.
And I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go. And my dad, old school, he used to say, son, you don't need that saloon. You know?
Yeah, I remember that.
Saloon.
Yeah, saloon.
Yeah,
That's
boy,
what they
you
used
know,
to call it
boy,
back then.
Boy, what's wrong with you? You is crazy. Don't you know if something happened in that club, you gotta be responsible. You know, he was just on me about the ins and outs and because the life what I was doing.
Right.
And I'm dealing with a club.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm still educating my brain. Like I'm like, well, I'm gonna take when I get this club going good, I'm about to leave all this fast money alone. And I got my music going, I got the club going.
You had a plan.
And I got a little something on the side with the little trying to do real estate and stuff too. So, you know, even though I was not saying I'm perfect.
Right.
It
You
was,
still had a plan.
Right.
But you still was dibbling and dabbling
Exactly.
because you needed that money to support everything that you was doing.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like soon when I was feeling it, and when I say God give you signs,
Oh, yes, He
man,
does.
God gave me so many signs. I look back on
Please share with the young people
yeah,
about that.
man,
'Cause
God gave me so many signs to go sit down.
Yes.
But I'm so addicted to this fast money. You know, He blessing me, and like I say, what people don't understand, the devil bless you too.
Oh, yes, He does.
See, the devil, as I look back on my life, the devil was blessing me with the club,
Yes.
with everything my heart desires, because
That's right.
I've got the wrong money
That's right.
involved with it.
That's right.
You know, and it's everything going fast, you know. But I'm trying to change, but I'm steady, so used to that fast lane. Well, anyway, Martin to the story, one of my good friends, got caught up, and you know, he put the people on me, the feds on me.
Wow.
And you know, I was just, you know, steady doing the wrong thing and trying to be smooth and this and that, all that there, and he got caught up, and the feds came, and you know, they came at me from what he said and all this stuff and all that there. So, you know, God was good. And another time, the judge who I was going under, you know, at the time, I ain't gonna call no name, but I mean, this is my testimony.
That's your testimony.
So
You don't have to be ashamed.
Anything I say, and it is what it is. I'm not
Well, we're gonna
ashamed.
say that for the second half
Right.
of it. And Mr. Eric Dabney has a awesome testimony that he's been sharing with us. We're gonna come back in a few minutes on the second part of this episode, and so you guys make sure that y'all stay tuned. Hi again. Welcome back to Shifting My Life podcast. We have Mr. Eric Dabney here. The first half of the episode, he shared so much knowledge with you guys about where he was in his earlier days in life. And so, of course, I know that as you're listening, to this broadcast that it's so it's kind of like hitting home, because it's possible either one of your family members have experienced the same thing, or you probably going through it right now with your own child. And so, Mr. Eric, how we ended, you stated that it was one of your friends that turned on you, and the feds came in.
Right. Yes. Like I say, one of my good friends, childhood friends from kindergarten.
From kindergarten. Wow.
That's and I being cocky. That's the only reason he got close to me, because
You trusted him.
Yeah, I
Y'all had
trusted
been
him.
friends a long time.
Yeah, so I went after friendship, instead of the rules, but that's the only way. But
Instead of the rules
but
of
what
the streets,
what I learned about that though, that was God calling on my life for to make me be where I'm at right here today. Because at one time, it's crazy, man. I was mad at the dude, and probably no telling what kind of frame of mind. But mom, to be honest, now I look at that as I send him a shout out.
Yes. But
growth.
you know what? One thing about it is that I know that your mom and your dad had you in church, and that's one thing about it. People can say all the time, well, your children go to church and they end up doing this and doing that, but it was in you.
Yeah. Oh God.
You understand? You were hearing, you were listening, even though it appeared like you didn't.
Right.
You still heard your mom.
Oh, yes.
You still heard your dad.
Right.
And that's the only thing that we as parents can ask, is that our children are listening to us, even though they may seem like they're not. And so that says a lot about you, and that says that you are closer to God.
Oh, man.
And I'm really like you. I believe that God has His chosen people.
Yeah.
I feel like He has His chosen people for certain assignments, and so that particular assignment was for you.
Right, I received that too.
And so now you're able to give Him a shout out.
Right.
And so police, if you're listening, y'all so quick to go get guns now. This man is saying that he chose to forgive. He's giving this man a shout out because guess what? It saved his life.
Right.
It saved his life, and so it shifted his life.
But that ain't the crazy part though. It's like, even though I thank God for growth and to be able to acknowledge that and learn through my trial and tribulation. But the most powerful part of that is that, okay, now like I say, the feds came and I didn't have a bad record. I had this stuff. The feds go off your record. Anyway, make a long story short, I wind up having to get like 5 years. So with good time and all that there, they wind up letting me do 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
With a halfway house. So
wow,
so that was a blessing.
It was a
and
blessing.
When I say it was a blessing, like I went to jail before, bonded out, parish prison and all that stuff, and but that was my first time. I stayed like probably a month or so, whatever. But it was my first time like really doing some time.
Doing time.
So
which is totally different.
Right. It was right. So for that judge on the street at that time was supposed to be like one of the meanest, however they want to put it, judges to sentence you. Man, don't you know what this judge told me? This is when I know God is real. I'm in the courtroom, got my lawyer, everything going good. The judge say, son, I don't know you, but I'm getting a vibe or whatever from you. He say, I just want you to feel like to let you know that Jesus Christ is in this courtroom with you.
Are you serious?
I raised my hand to the man. I mean, yes. So when he said that alone, my body got kind of humble.
Yes.
Because I'm like, damn, that was his first words once I introduced myself before he sentenced me. So in other words, don't get me wrong, I ain't want to do no time.
Right.
Because I felt like they didn't have me wrong. And like I say, my co-defendant, my friend, he put me in the mix. So at the time, I don't want to do no time.
Right.
But when that man said that, and I understand the rules, I understand the law, and I understand, the situations and things. But when he said that, and when he did give me that time, I was humble.
Wow.
I took my lick. I'm gonna take my lick, and if I took my lick, I was so humble, and if for some reason I felt like a good feeling.
Yes.
So think about that. I'm about to go through time, but I felt good about it because it's like, I don't know, by him saying that it did something to me. I was describing.
Well, he let you know, even though you being, because you think about the Hebrew boys that went to jail. You understand? And how God came and got them out of there. You understand? the furnace fire and all of that. But I'm just saying, God was just letting you know, okay, I'm letting you know I'm sending you here.
Right.
But I hope you really
Exactly.
see this
That's
message
right.
behind this,
Right.
because God works through
Right.
people.
And that's crazy.
And
You
you
saying
know
that's
he had to have been in the midst of there.
You know what? When I got more closer to him, what you just said, that's how I took it.
Mm-hmm.
You hit it on the head. So you know, I got my time. And the judge was also generous. I wasn't on flight risk, so he let me stay home a minute to take care of some business with my wife
Right.
and my son.
Uh-huh.
And you know,
And then go in.
Yeah, I actually turned myself in. When I went to the feds, I pulled up.
You talk about favor.
That's what I'm saying.
Over you.
Yeah, I drove myself to the prison to turn myself in.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it was just a good feeling.
Yes.
And back to the family. Now keep in mind, you know, my mama, my daddy, you know, we a real close family.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody in Baton Rouge know the Dabneys, we are real close, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm my spirit up, you know, just like you, if you was my mama, I know you'll be worried about me.
That's right. No
You know,
matter what.
I know you know I can handle mine,
Uh-huh.
but it's just the nature and the mother to care for their son.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to spice her up and be like, I used to be messing with her. I'd be like, look, woman, I'm good. I say, when I go in there, I'm going to hit the weights. I'm going to get strong. I'm going to get that knowledge in my head. You know, she know I ain't, she know I ain't, you know, I ain't slow. She know I'm on my stuff. She know I'm smart. She know I'm intelligent. She know if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So she always, that's my best fan. You know, it's funny, you know, and to this day, my sister and them always told me, you know, my mother loved all this unconditional. But they used to say this when mom used to always say, it's something about that little baby boy.
That's what I was finna say. Wait a minute.
So, you know,
that's what I was finna say. You the baby.
Right.
You understand? You my baby.
Right.
And at the end of the day, this
Right.
is the last of it. And
Right.
so I'm pouring everything.
Right, and keep in mind, I have a twin sister, you know, I'm a twin.
Okay, but both of y'all,
Right.
she probably poured everything
Exactly.
from the rest of the children
Right.
into y'all because she saw
Exactly. She
saw it
said,
in you and your
And I
sister.
see that now.
Wow.
So, like I said, it was funny. You know, I used to joke with her because, like I said, I had the time to be on the streets, take care of my business before I turned myself in. So I used to joke with her, you know, just to keep her spirit up because I don't want to worry about me.
We still worried.
Yeah, I know. and it was funny. So I said, what I told her, oh yeah, I got with all my sisters and brothers and we dealt with each other individually and let them know where my head is, that we straight. And I did it with each of them individually. Hung on my twin, you know, my girl Erica down there, love you to death always. And you know, I did everything with him. So, you know, my daddy always told me to be on some grown man time. I always was on grown man time. So, you know, I'm gonna take my lick. So I'm talking to my mama, you know, it's getting shorter for me ready to go do my time. Man, don't you know, and this is the last, I'll never forget this. My mama, keep in mind, I already hung with all my brothers and sisters and let them know where my IQ is, that I'm good. My son and everybody, I got all that straight, that we family on the table.
Right.
Don't you know, when I got ready to turn myself in, I came to my mama's house early in the morning, about 3:30. My mama had just like it's a big old table like this. We had a big table in the house because it was a lot of us.
Yeah, it was a lot of
And
y'all.
I count the grandkids, but it was, man, don't you know, my mama prepared like a big mama brother. So
Wow.
and what's funny about it, I didn't even know about it. She called each one of my brothers and sisters
And had them to come.
come
Wow.
and told them, y'all better be here. We're gonna have a breakfast. We're gonna pray. And you know,
Wow.
my baby
Your
boy,
mom and dad still living?
no, they pay. I'm about to get to that. That's crazy. That's why I say I can go on. I'm trying to make a long story short, but I know the world need to hear this.
Right.
Because I hold a lot in.
That's
first of
right.
all.
That's right.
And
And I appreciate that,
Yeah.
that you feel comfortable enough to share that.
Yeah, and then, like I said, to make a long story short. So when I got there, it was her and my daddy, my son and his mama, and her mama, because I was gonna ride with them for the drop me off. Man, next thing you know, my brothers, my sisters, all them putting up. Keep in mind, it's like 3:30 in the morning.
Wow.
So I'm like, what's going on? You know, she's smiling, and man, we sit there, pray, ate, laugh, talk. So it got ready for time for me to go. So I'm hugging her, telling her, you know, I love her, all that stuff there. And my mama, she didn't want to let me go. Like she had a grip on me, And you know, it take a lot to make me cry. Not saying I'm hard at that, but it just it take a lot to make me cry. Don't you know, when my mama hugged me and I hugged her, I felt that I wasn't gonna see her no more.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt, and I never told nobody. I felt, you know, because she started crying, and she had a grip on me so tight. You know, I just felt it like God give you wisdom and knowledge.
Yes, He does. Yes.
So I felt the feeling, man. I couldn't hold it no more. I just broke down.
Yes.
You know, but I was still strong. I was like, Mama, look, I'm good. You know, I'm about to go get swole, get my knowledge up, and I'll be back. You know, but she didn't want to let me go. Yeah.
She knew that was going to be the last
She
time.
didn't want to let me go. My sister and them had to pull her hands off me, and you know, so we got that straight. I told her I love her. So now I'm getting in the car about to head to the to go turn myself in. Next thing you know, my sister them like, what gas station you going to? I'm like, gas station. Told them what gas station I go to. Man, we had like 8 or 9 cars. Like everybody gassed up. You know.
That's love.
Yeah.
That is really love.
Everybody gassed up. You know what I'm saying? We drove to Yazoo. You know. And Yazoo, Mississippi, so it's like a 3.5 hour ride. So just think about it. I'm in the first car, I got about 9 or 10 cars behind me. All my sisters and brothers. You know, my twin, my son, you know, all that. So look, we get to the prison, and it's close from Martin Luther King, right? So when I got to the gate, and I told her, I was telling the guards, you know, my name Eric down there, and I came to surrender, turn myself in. They didn't have no paperwork on it. So look, I cracked the joke. I said, well, look, I appreciate y'all. Just let them know I came, but I'm gonna holler at y'all. And they all laughed like that. They said, hold up, man.
Hold up, let's see.
They had a good sense of humor about it. But you know the most touching part about that though?
What?
When they laughed and stuff, and a lady came out there. She said, baby, you mean to tell me y'all from Baton Rouge, right?
And
I said,
all these people.
She said, you got all these, who is you, a celebrity or something? You know, she just asked me for real. I'm like, it's just my family and stuff. She said, baby, you mean to tell me y'all drove way from Baton Rouge, you and all your brothers and sisters?
That's amazing.
Just to turn you just for you to walk in and close the door behind you.
That's amazing.
And I smiled. You know what the lady told me?
What?
She said, baby, look, we're gonna get everything straight with your name and the computer and find out what's going on. But look, go out there and talk to your family. When you finish, come on in here and we're gonna.
Eric, I've never heard a story like this before in my life.
I raised my hand to God.
I never had.
It's a testimony. Yeah, I raised my hand to God. Yeah.
Now, when you sit down listening to this with your children, make sure you let them know the whole thing about it. Don't let them think that it's that easy to go to jail.
Right.
We don't want you to get that misconception, but what it is showing how God has favor over his life. And the same thing that you could have over your life. You understand? But we don't want you to get to that point to where you have to go to jail and really actually realize that. We want you to listen to his story. Sit down and think about it. Well, man, if he had family love, which I'm sure a lot of you do, have mamas, grandmothers, daddies that care about you. And so, you know, take from this. Don't take that, man, he had a strong back and, you know, they was treating him like he was a celebrity. Man, maybe I get the same treatment when I go to court. Maybe I get the same treatment when I go to jail. This man here has favor over his life. Yes, you do. You really do. And I'm so happy that you sharing this story with me. I'm really.
It was crazy. Like I deal with, like I said, my nephew. I got a lot of people that have big podcasts that's doing their thing, and it's easy for me to, I guess I always say timing and God plan.
Yeah.
Anybody that know me, they know I always say that. So I look at you as like God let you reach out to me for me to, and the way, I just.
And you know what? It's funny you said that because I said, we have planned to meet several times, but in God's timing, he saved the best for last because you are the last of my first 10 episodes.
Right.
So God saved the best for last. He spoke that to me today, saying, that this story here that's going to be shared today, I had you wait for it for a purpose.
Right. Oh yeah. That's what I said. I give it to him.
Yes.
And I'm feeling the anointing on you, so I know. I know you. We on the same page.
Oh yes. Yes. Well, we're gonna take a small break, and then we'll be back in a few minutes to finish wrapping it up with Mr. Eric Dabney. I just want to say this, this is my 10th episode, and this is going to finish up my podcast until we retape again with some new individuals. And so I must say this, that God saved the best for last. Mr. Eric Dabney has a outstanding story that he's sharing with me, and it's God here in the midst. And of course, anything that I do, God has to be in the midst. And I can say that God is in the midst of this podcast, because this young man here, what he's sharing with us today and with you today, I just pray that you will let it soak in. And so this man had a caravan behind him going to prison. Now, so many of you young children today don't feel love. And so what I want you to take out of this podcast is that there is love in your family. Yeah, they may be a little hard on you. They may be saying things that you feel like, well, I done heard that before. Or mama, you done did that. Or daddy, you done did that. But that's the love. This man had a caravan going with him to prison. And so, Eric, you stated that the guard came outside and said, you got all of these people with you?
Right. Yeah, it was crazy, and like I said, she just like your personality, your spirit, I don't even know this lady. Just like I just met you. It was like the God given spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you can talk to somebody and their spirit, you can be like,
right, you can
know
feel
that
it.
person, you can tell it's a good vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she was real nice and generous. I wish I knew her name, but
shout out to her.
Shout out to her, yeah. But she was, like I say, she told me, she said, baby, them people love you.
Mm-hmm.
She said, they were way down here just to, let me.
Wow.
Went out there, I joked with my son and all my brothers, told them I love them.
Mm-hmm.
They messing with me and stuff. I'm telling them that, I'm like, man, when I get out, I'm be like, He-Man, I'm be swole. I'm just making them smile and let them know,
Yeah, because you gotta know that it was affecting them as well.
Yeah. Showing my good side, I'm gonna get my knowledge for sure.
Uh-huh.
So, like I say, the mother to that story, man, my mama, she did that. I didn't understand, but down the line, I see why she did. So anyway, I go in, tell my family I love them, go in there and start doing my time. I'm humble. I'm excited to, rebuild with my new self from, because my mom used to always tell me, she'd be like, you mess your bed up, you gotta lay in it.
Yes, oh my God,
that's
say
that old
that.
talk,
Yes.
And she used to always tell me this, so I already knew I messed my bed up, so now I'm about to lay in it.
Yeah, you go in and leave this past, and when I come out, I am a new creature.
Right.
Yes.
That's it. So within 4 months of me being incarcerated, I talked to my mom on the phone twice a week, 3 times a week. She's the one to come see me when my mother was getting up in age. And, like I said, I'm a baby boy. She went through that already with my brothers. And, I lost a brother and all that. So, I didn't want to, the knowledge I had as a kid, I say I watched what she went through. I'm a man. I'm going to stand up. I'm like, nah, mama, you ain't got to come see me. I'm good.
Right.
I call you on the phone and check on you. My son, his mama, my sisters, my brothers, they reaching out to me, so I'm good, And I talk to her several times out the week and check on her. So within 4 months of me doing that, I called, talked to my son, talked to his mama, and she told me, she said, when you get a chance, call Miss Dabney. She doing okay, but just call her. I called my mom, check on her, we talking, and this, sad to say, this gonna be my last conversation talking to my mom. So I'm talking to her, and like I told you, good spirit. What you doing, woman? How you doing?
Yeah.
You all right? Yeah, I'm all right. I say, woman, you ain't worrying about me, huh? Oh no, baby, I ain't worrying about you. I say, no, I'm up here good. I'm eating good. I'm swole. The same little routine. So she like, nah, E, I ain't worried about you. I know you good. But I could hear in her voice, as a mother. And I'm telling her, yeah, man, I'm worried about me. I'm good. I was checking on you, and she like, I'm good. They're going to the doctor, but I'm good. I know God got you, and I wrote you a letter, and this and that. So man, don't you know? 2 days after that phone call, I got a call from the chapel, and anybody that's been locked up in the prison, they know if you get a call from the chapel,
that's it. They're coming to give you some bad news.
So what's funny about that? God had me because I just got off the phone with my mom, and I ain't want to assume that, but I understand life. So I'm on my way to the chapel, and I got the news, And when I say it's like God had me prepared for that, because it's like I wanted to cry, but at the time it was just happening. So it's like my heart was beating fast, but it's like God was like, I got you. The feeling on me. I'm describing the feeling. So I'm listening to him and stuff, and I'm talking to him, and I'm just like it's like I've seen that before.
But he had already warned you.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's like deja vu.
Yes.
You know, so I'm sitting there and it don't even seem real. I'm thinking about our last conversation and you know.
And that last hug.
Definitely last hug. And you know, I'm glad you said that. You know what really hit me though? You remember, I'm gonna go way back on when I first started the interview. Remember I said when I was in the 3rd or 4th grade, I lost a brother at 3. Remember I said when I was little, I watched my brother and them do this and do that. And go to jail, go to LTI, you know, my mama, we every Sunday, picnic. Remember I told you I watched that.
Right.
Remember I told you I made that statement in the 3rd or the 4th grade, I think the 4th grade, that if I was to ever be incarcerated, or whatever something happened to my mama, I would hurt myself.
Right.
So that's the first
thing that you thought about.
It went to my head.
Wow.
But I'm gonna tell you what God come in at.
Yes, because I was gonna say that's Satan.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? The negative to me, like sometimes people say, and I can understand with certain stuff, be careful what you say out your mouth. That's true to a certain degree.
To a certain degree.
But that, the way I look at that, man, I was a little kid. I was in the 4th grade. To me, that was God putting the anointing in me right there.
Right.
For to make that statement, and then when it happened, my mind like the matrix went straight back.
Wow. Yes.
And
Speak on that.
I was 29. I just made 30.
Yes.
My mom passed right after my birthday. I made 30.
Yes.
So for my mind to go straight to that, it's like God touched me and say, what I'm telling you. So I'm like, I understand. You know, I was hurt, I was down and all that there, you know, but it's like, it's like God just had his arms wrapped around me.
Yes.
I could tell it was him, because it still was more shocked than anything, you know. And in the feds, I don't know, the feds, they don't care if it's your mama, your daddy.
Y'all better listen.
You're not going to the funeral. You know, they told me to pay for 2 guards. And they was gonna have them take me out. I had the money in my account.
So you mean tell me they let you go to the funeral?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what they told me. They told me that I had to pay for 2 guards. I had the money in my account to pay for the 2 guards. I got my little uniform on. I'm dressed, waiting. And they waited till that day to tell me that.
Oh my God.
You know, now that's when I went kind of haywire, like towards this my action.
Yeah, I can understand why.
And another thing, R.I.P. to Miss Kathleen Blanco. Man, you see that lady there? My family did everything in their power. They reached out to that woman, Miss Kathleen Blanco. Don't you know this lady sent me a grieving letter, a rose, and everything, and explained to me that, she did it her best, but it was out of her hands.
Wow.
With the
yeah, but at least.
Yeah, and she
didn't have to do that.
She didn't have to do that.
No, she did.
Man, wow. When she passed, I sent her the thing on the email. Like a message I put out. And just, she did what she could,
So what is Eric doing now these days? What are you doing now to help the community and the young men in the community? Because your story is powerful. I don't know if you plan on writing a book, but you should.
Yeah, there's a lot of people say that.
Yeah, you need to.
I never
should.
Stuff down, but I'm like I say, I'm a new, changed, better man. You know, like I say, once I came home and I seen that, I had like 2 years, right at 2 years left when my mama passed.
Right.
So when I came home, I go to my mama's house.
It's different.
I didn't go to the funeral, so I didn't see her get put in the ground.
Right.
So it was just a crazy feeling. Like to me, like she yelled.
Yeah.
And I didn't see her. I visited her grave, put flowers on it and everything. And but reality kicked in. You know? But when I came home, it's like, to be honest, I had a me against the world attitude a little bit. I felt like the streets owed me and all this stuff. So I came home. I wouldn't. God had me. But it's like I had 1 foot in, doing good,
You're straddling.
And I was tiptoeing over to the back to, being honest. So after experimenting that, I got a job. I started working. I started, taking care of my business and stuff. But that old devil is like, you got a good E and you got a bad E.
Oh yeah.
See that good E, he gonna speak one time.
Yes.
He don't do that.
Yes.
But see that bad E,
go keep going.
He on both of my shoulders in my ear, telling me what to do, how to do it, and all that stuff. And I just, it's like God touched me and let me know that if you don't stop trying to move like this,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be right back where you was.
Lord have mercy.
You know, real talk.
Lord have mercy.
So I was already working, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I really started going to church more.
Mm-hmm.
I got more serious about my job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I let go of bad habits and trying to think I could, you know, do like this and move. I started doing everything right.
Mm-hmm.
And don't you know, when I say God blessed me, like it's like God gave me everything my heart desired.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that I was doing when I was in the streets, God was letting me get it through a job.
That's right.
You know,
That's right. That's one thing that I tell the young men
Right.
today is that, you know, God is gonna give you what you need. Satan is, if it's easy to get,
right.
that's Satan.
Right, exactly. Like I was saying earlier,
Uh-huh.
people don't know, but the devil bless you too.
Oh yeah, he does bless
The devil
you. He
bless you
does.
too,
He'll
but
dress it up and make it look so good.
Right,
That you know, well, why don't work? Them people go over there going to church or something.
Right.
I'm over here living like this,
Right.
and it's funny that, you know, we as Christians, we would think, well, wow, you know, man, I need to be out there
Right.
still doing what I'm doing because look like they living their life over there. I know I'm a Christian. I've said that
right.
before. This woman look like she being blessed with the good husband. I get all the praise husband.
Right. I feel that. Right.
But in the midst of it, it's still a lesson.
Yeah.
In the midst of all of that, and so you're in church now, and you're married.
Right.
Are you married?
You know, well, me and my son and mama,
Mm-hmm.
when I told you when I came home, we stayed together a while. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to my son and mama, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I love that.
I can't ask for a better person. We wound up getting divorced,
Mhm.
but when I came home, like I say, I felt like the streets owed me.
Mhm.
And she stood there by my side and everything. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
ain't putting up with that no
Yeah.
more.
And you know, I went right back to pretty much the same
As a
thing.
woman, I've been there.
And I'm telling her I'm like, well, I created this. I made, I'm thinking sideways in my head as I look back at it now. You know, it's like I didn't even fight for it or nothing because I was too busy dealing with my mama. Feel like the streets owed me.
Right.
I didn't even really acknowledge her the way I supposed to.
Right.
And see, God give you stuff and you take it too.
That's right, he will.
You know, so
He
I
give
just,
you a good thing
I
and take it away.
I didn't even work hard for it. I
Yes.
just let it go because I was so trapped in, you know what I'm saying? But to make a long story short, we good friends, we get along good, we be there for our son.
That's good.
You know, we on the whole nother
That's
level.
good.
And you know, like I said, I started working, I started going to church, and remember I told you about the real estate?
Mm-hmm.
God blessed me to start purchasing houses.
Good.
Giving back to my community,
Mhm.
doing stuff, fixing them up, renting them out, doing all kinds
Good.
of stuff. It's like, you know, it's like when I think upon it now, everything that I was doing when I was in the fast lane working for the devil,
Mm-hmm.
God giving me the same stuff and more, and I ain't gotta worry about nobody taking it from me.
Right.
Going to jail, or I done bought this with drug money.
That's right.
You know, God got me doing it with legal money.
That's right. And it's kind of like, you know, CeCe Winans' new song, All My Life,
Right.
I've Been Faithful.
Right.
And if you actually been through things like how you have, you can sit back and reflect over your life and
Oh,
say,
right.
all my life God has been faithful. Because even in the midst of me, my
Right.
wrongdoings,
Right.
he was faithful.
Right.
Even in the midst of
In the
now
midst.
me doing my good, he is even more faithful.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
so, that's such a powerful story. But I want to encourage you. I've written a book, but I have so many more inside of me. And so I want to encourage you to write a book
Right.
because, and not just write a book, I need
I know
you
what
to
you're
tell
saying.
this story
Yeah,
more
I
because
know
you
exactly what you're
are
saying.
anointed and God has a calling on your life.
I
He
receive
been had it on your life since 4 years
I
old.
receive that. I receive that.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I thank you so much for coming in today to trust me enough
Oh yeah.
to tell your story, and I just pray that I know that it will. I don't have to pray about it because God ordained this day today for this purpose,
Right, I
and
receive
so that I know that this story is going to go out and it's going to go into somebody's living room and it's going to shift the atmosphere. I want to just encourage you from Eric's testimony today. Do not give up on your children.
Right.
Show them love. Do not give up on your grandchildren. Show them love. They may be doing some things that you're not satisfied with, but in the midst of that, continue to show them love and sit down and watch this episode with them. This God saved the best for last, and so I am just so excited and what God is going to do in your life.
I receive that.
We have to stay in touch
That was
because we're
something
going to do so many things together.
Right.
So again, thank you so much for tuning in to Do you have any information that you can share with them, how they can reach you, or if you're doing stuff in the community?
Yeah.
Are you hiring young men to help you with these houses,
Yeah.
rebuild these houses or whatever? Share that information
I got,
with them.
But right now, I got some contractors who I'm dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
and me and them getting the job did because we doing a lot of like framing and
Okay.
stuff like that. But I do stuff like grass, cutting grass.
Mm-hmm.
When I get to certain areas of the house, like painting
Mhm.
stuff that
Mhm.
people that don't have no skills, they
Right,
can do.
and you can teach
They
them to
can
do.
get- yeah,
Good,
cutting
good.
grass, any kind of way to make some legal money, and they serious. I could put together something for them
Okay.
to make sure they straight and learn too.
Yes,
You know, but,
because that's one trade you can't take away from them.
no.
That's one trait that you cannot take away from them. I believe in the young men. I'm always trying to find businessmen to give our young black men a chance because
Right.
they have a history. Some of them have a history behind them, and they can't just go and get a job. And like I say, they've lost hope.
Right.
And they've lost love. But I know one thing for sure about this episode today.
Right.
You guys are going to feel the love. You're going to know that love is shown in your family. You're going to know that love was in the midst of this room as well as the Lord was in the midst of this room. Shifting My Life podcast again was given to me because God said, I need you to let them know. Tell the stories on how I came into their life. Not what man did, but how I came into their life and I shifted that atmosphere. Yes, he did it for me. He did it for Mr. Eric, and he did it for every person that you're going to watch on my 1 through 10 episodes. And so please make sure that you go on to Shifting My Life podcast, share them with your family and friends, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episodes.